I wanted to create a practice to help support you with this Capricorn New Moon. This will be a pretty short practice, but I do recommend to create your sacred space. If there's oils you want to use, crystals, maybe adjust the lighting, grab any props that you might want. I'm recommending tangerine and sandalwood, something that's really grounding and nourishing to the root, and then something that's a little bit more uplifting, more expansive. You could really pick any tree grounding oil and any citrus oil that you might have on hand. Easiest is to just take a drop of each, palms of the hands, and taking some deep breaths to start our practice. If you need a moment to gather, you can always pause the video and come back. As you breathe, really try to breathe fully in these aromas. Let it really absorb into your whole body. Three deep breaths is usually my go-to. And then when you're ready, find a comfortable position. Any movements you need to settle in, neck rolls, shoulder rolls, always feel free. Take your time, connect to the body. Start to slow the breath. And instead of focusing on the belly or the heart, which is where I would generally guide you to feel the breath, I want you to place all of your focus and awareness on your pelvic floor. And see if you can feel or just observe the effect that the breath has on this area of the body, the root chakra, Muladhara. So, what happens to the base of the pelvis, to your seat, as you inhale? And then, what do you notice when you exhale? What's the feeling in the pelvic floor? And if you notice that your mind has strayed to something else, just gently guide it back. Bring the energy low, bring your awareness low in the body. We're working with a lot of grounding for this new moon. It truly is a time to go within, to rest, to create many, many moments of pause in our day, to bring the energy out of the mind into the body. Couple more deep breaths here. Stay with it, breathing, noticing, observing the breath and this interaction with the pelvic floor. And then if they're not already, take the palms down near the knees or the thighs. This new moon happens to be closing out our year, and it's really giving us opportunity. It's giving us solid ground to create a structure that we want to take with us into the next year. There is a reliability, a steadiness to this energy that is really nourishing. There's a quietness and a stillness that is available to us if we allow ourselves to lean in. And that's really my invitation for you. Let's take a breath in and sigh it out. When you're ready, you can blink the eyes open, come back into your physical space. The way I'm going to move you through this practice is to both strengthen, solidify the root chakra, the pelvic floor, but also open, create receptivity. So we will kind of pendulate between poses that are a little bit more active in nature and really engaging Mula Bandha, our root lock. And then we'll come into more passive poses where we're able to just let go, we're able to soften the pelvic floor. Both are important. We're trying to create balance in the body. So I'm going to have you start. Soles of the feet to tuck down angle for just a moment, just to get some movement here. So I'm going to start with circles. You might start a different way. Maybe you want to add more of a cat-cow movement of the spine. Maybe there's some side reaches. Let this be a little bit more intuitive to your body. This is a really great way to just bring a little bit of somatic movement into our practice. Somatic meaning being connected to the body, being guided by the body. And then when you're ready, come into a full straddle. Now, this will look different for all of us, but I want you to open just wide enough that you feel a good amount of stretching through the inner thighs and the groin. We're going to get really active here. So I want you to first flex the toes, sit tall. Make sure the upper thigh bones are rotating back. So that external rotation is really important. Hands can either support in front of you or behind you, depending on your flexibility. Eyes can be open or closed. I want you to sit really tall, shoulders back. And if you're able to, and you're familiar with it, lift up on the pelvic floor muscles, engage Mula Bandha, root lock. And as you're here, we'll be here for a few breaths. If you have the space to come further forward, you can, but it is not necessary. Again, listen to the body. Try to keep that engagement of the pelvic floor. And if it's more of a pulsation with the breath, that's fine too. It doesn't have to be a constant contraction of those muscles. I want you to feel like you're pressing out through your heels, pressing out through the ball mound of the big toe. About 5 more breaths here, super active. Breath is slow and steady. Good, now relax. Maybe start with the legs, the feet, the toes. You might notice they naturally start to point forward. That's fine. Relax the pelvic floor. If you have space, maybe you come to the forearms or you place a bolster, blanket, or block in front of you. No engagement of the pelvic floor. No engagement of the belly, shoulders, jaw, everything is relaxed, soft, receptive. We're coming now into yin energy where we were just in that yang active energy. We're in that really soft, darker, deeper energy. Again, eyes can be closed or open, your choice. If it helps to have something from the mind, you can come back to that beginning breath where the pelvic floor is relaxed and you're just noticing the effects, the most subtle movement that occurs when you breathe into the pelvic floor. Just a few more breaths here. Start to slowly come up. Pause for a moment, let that energy settle. Notice what you feel, where you feel it. Cleansing breath if you need it, flush it through the body. You can come maybe it's a cross-legged. Again, your own intuitive movement here. Really super targeted, super focused in this practice. So if you're noticing that you're needing some space, maybe in the shoulders, the neck, heart, this is the place to add that in. When you're ready, come into Malasana. So you're coming to the soles of the feet, and maybe you have hands supporting. And we're going to start with a little bit of movement here. You're going to rock heel to heel. Maybe you lift the toes. Maybe you add some arm movements. And then if you're able to, bring the hands to the heart. You can also do this with a block under the seat if you're needing that support. We're starting with that more active, more yang version of the pose. So we're lifted, the spine is long, elbows are pressing to the inner knees, we're lifting through the inner arches of the feet. And then again, if you can, engage and lift up on the pelvic floor. Try to have a softness in the face. So even though we're super efforting here, a lot of engagement, find those little places where you can bring in softness. So we're always working with that yin and yang energy, right? There's always a little bit of one present in the other. About 3 more breaths here. Good. Then you're going to get soft here. So I recommend having the arms to the inner knees. It's going to help you to feel a little bit supported. You're going to let your spine be more grounded. Chin drops towards the heart. Belly is soft. Pelvic floor is soft, open. And it's interesting too to notice how your body responds to each energy. How do you respond in that more active state? How do you feel in that more passive state? Is one kind of more comfortable for you than the other? So just something to start to become aware of. You can start to extend the legs and find a straddle fold. Maybe you sway here. Again, this is your intuitive movement time. And then bring the hands to the hips and come all the way to stand. Turn the toes out. And we're coming into goddess pose. So we can start with hands to hips. We're going to pulse into this a little bit with the breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, as you breathe in and you lower into your goddess pose, I want you to feel the pelvic floor opening, receiving, expanding. And then as you breathe out, I want you to feel this pulling upward. So even from the pelvic floor all the way up the midline of the body. Take a few more. Good, and then stay in goddess. So as low as you can, maybe you move in the pose a little bit first. Hands can stay on the thighs. You can open the arms, whatever you prefer. Relax the toes. Shoulders back. Last few breaths. Stay. Rise up. Sweep the arms. Hold to one wrist and a little side stretch here. Other way. Back to center. Breathe in. Exhale through the mouth. Return to your mat, seated, and then come all the way to lie down. Widen the feet and let the knees touch together at center. Let the breath slow, let the heart slow. Lift the knees and extend the legs into Shavasana. Bring the legs a little wider. And same with the arms. Gently lift the heart. Let the chin tuck ever so slightly down. And I want you again to bring a really gentle awareness, observance of the pelvic floor. You can release any controlling or shaping of the breath. Let your body just breathe for you. And I want you to really be in the energy of this chakra, Muladhara. And notice how it feels after that practice. Do you notice more balance, more cohesion, maybe more connection? Do you have now a felt sense of this center of the body? And can you feel, or maybe just trust, that your sense of safety, security, support, structure is alive in this place? It is holding you, supporting you, grounding you, and really creating that solid, stable pathway for you to move forward. I would really love for you to stay here as long as you can, especially during a new moon. It's really inviting us to rest more, sleep more, nourish ourselves, just be. There's really no need to take action right now. There is no need to do much of anything except to just be with yourself, befriend yourself, love yourself, and really start to cultivate safety within your own body. I thank you so much, as always, for being here, for trusting me. Wish you a beautiful Capricorn new moon, a beautiful new year ahead. Or if you're taking this practice at another time, just a beautiful day. Thank you as always.